Catherine from Elite Destination Homes.
And I'm Jeannie at Elite Destination Homes. And we're going to talk about how to rent a vacation home and how we do it here.
Exactly. You know, if you have a home, vacation home that's sitting there empty a lot of the year, you know, what may you want to do with that?
Exactly.
You want to get it rented, right? You want to
Right.
monetize it. You may want to put guests in there to enjoy your home and actually make a little money off of it. So that's what we're going to talk to you today about, is renting your vacation home and how to get it all ready for that. What do you have to do to make that happen?
Right. And I think one of the very first things that is so important and that will differentiate your home and describe it is really great photography. And Catherine has some really good ideas in terms of how to prepare your home for a professional photographer and to make it really shine.
Yes, photography is really, really important because it is the biggest marketing tool that you will have. Literally, you have about 15 seconds to catch somebody's attention when they're out there looking for a vacation home. So wow photography is it. That's how you get their attention to come to look at further details about your home. So what you need to do is hire a professional photographer and talk to him and show him examples of what you like, what kind of photography you like, and it should be sort of lifestyle photography. Then what I do is I think about staging. What do I want the home to look like the day of the shoot? So either that morning, early morning, or the night before, I go out shopping and I buy all kinds of staging props, which are things like fresh flowers, lots of different kinds of fruits, baskets of croissants, bread, bottles of wine, Pellegrino, the brightest juice I can find to put in pictures, and then I set the home up and I get it all looking like I would want to be there. Any guest who saw that photo would want to be in that room. And so you set the table, you turn on the fireplace, you light the candles, you put out the blankets, you put out the bathrobes. If you're in a beachy location and you have a pool area, you set up the lounge chairs, you get the umbrellas up, you put out towels on the chairs, maybe a magazine with some sunglasses, breakfast trays on the beds. In the bathrooms, you can have bottles of shampoo and even a little bit of flowers in there. You set out towels.
Make it look like you're ready for a small dinner party to come on over and enjoy your home.
Yeah, exactly. And the biggest question you can ask your photographer is, do they do lighting? Because lighting is the most important thing in any shoot. So you take about a half an hour to 45 minutes just to set up the shot with the proper lighting, with the proper staging. The furniture is never in the same position. You kind of turn so chairs aren't facing the camera, chair backs aren't facing the camera, or couches backs, aren't in the shot. And you get those wow photos, and you need about 20 of them to be successful.
Yeah, at least.
Yeah, 20
at least.
Actually even 25.
Yes, and high resolution, of course, because where you promote your home, in some locations, in some places it might not require that, but in some it will. For example, on our website, we like to have really high resolution photography to really show off the detail of the homes.
Mm-hmm.
And then, once we have the photography, perhaps the next thing that's attractive would be the description. And what we like to do is, since we have a very short amount of time really when people are looking for vacation homes, we capture their attention first with photography and then with some very concise highlights about what kind of an experience someone will have when they're staying in the home. Maybe they'll have spectacular vistas over the Valley of the Sun, or maybe they'll have, step outside to the ski out opportunity that they have right underneath the gondola. Then we can talk, then we can have a little narrative. We put together a nice description of the home that tries to, again, describe the lifestyle that somebody will have.
What's
and
it like
enjoy.
to stay there?
Yeah. I mean, why is someone going to be, staying at the home? What fun? What will they experience? What positive things will they experience while they're there? And then another thing, just in terms of the descriptions, all those beautiful photographs really should have some sort of a caption. And that caption should be not just descriptive, but really express what kind of, what you will get from, being in that particular part of the home. So I think you've got the photos, you've got the description. Another really important thing to think about when you're going to rent a home is the pricing. And I know what we do at Elite Destination Homes is we look at comparative properties in the same location with as similar amenities. We recognize that every home is unique and has its own particular characteristics, but we try to find homes as similar as possible and look at those prices in terms of a guide for our own.
It shouldn't just be like, oh my gosh, I'm going to price it at this, but it's really looking at what's your neighbor renting it for, and so you can be competitive with them, and you don't want to price yourself out of the market by having it too high, and you don't want to price yourself too low either. You're going to get so many inquiries then, which is a good problem to have, but know that you can always bring up the price later.
Right, yeah, we've found that it really works better to try to have some sort of enticing and introductory pricing and then raise the price as appropriate. Exactly. Where are you going to promote your home? And I know we have found that there are a variety of places to promote the home, and it's in many cases a good idea to use all of these resources. There are various different independent listing sites, VRBO, HomeAway, FlipKey, and others.
Yeah, and with those listing sites, what they do is they charge you a yearly fee.
Mm-hmm.
And so with those like VRBO and HomeAway and FlipKey, TripAdvisor, they just charge you a fee, a yearly fee, and that's what you pay them. You'll get all the leads directly to you as the homeowner or whatever contact you put up there, and then you're required to answer them. And one of the other things that you do really well is you get back to people as quickly as possible.
Oh, it's so important. It really is.
And so we have a thing where we want to get back to them within an hour, but we really want to get back to them within 15 minutes.
Another area besides these independent websites is there are various agencies that specialize. Some specialize in a particular geographic market. Some are global. We work with both of those agencies at Elite Destination Homes and have found that over the years, complementing both the independent websites with agencies, as well as our own website at Elite, has been a good combination. When you're working with an agency, there will be an additional commission involved, but again, it can be very well worth it to have a larger group of people working on this project, which is renting your vacation home and maximizing really the revenue for you and the enjoyment of others.
Yeah, and the best way to get started with this on where should I market my home is basically go to Google and do a search and do Bahama Villa Rentals or Bahama Home Rentals or Bahama Vacation Rentals and see what comes up. And then you do your research on each one of those sites and just say, does my home fit? Is it kind of priced well with the other homes out there? And also, what kind of commission structure do they take? Or is it just a paid site? And what kind of services do they provide?
One of the other things I'm just going to briefly mention is that we do like to maintain, when we're working with independent websites, we really like to keep our information fresh, which is another important factor in maintaining the maximum exposure of the home. The photography we've talked about, the enticing descriptions, the right pricing, and then really continually monitoring the what we call listings on these various different sites to make sure that the information is fresh, maybe the photography has changed from time to time, to keep the listings very prominent within the various different websites.
Yeah, and then if you do have a special at your home, let's say you want to do a last minute special because you're trying to fill some dates, it's good to get that special out at all the different places where you've done your marketing.
Right.
And then be sure to take it down.
Then, another thing that I think, Catherine, you are so good at talking about is home preparing your home for a renter. Now we've got all of the, marketing materials prepared. How do we prepare the home to receive the guest?
Yep, so you've made a decision to rent your home, and now how do you get the house ready for that? What do you need to do actually to the house? And the first thing you need to do is you need to take all of your personal items and either take them with you out of the house or find a closet to put them in that you could put a lock on. And in there you can keep, your favorite bottles of wine, your favorite olive oil, your running clothes, workout clothes, your kids' toys, whatever it may be that you want to keep in the house, but you got to make sure that it's locked off and that nothing is left in the closets or in the cupboards. The other thing you need to do is make sure you have enough household supplies. So things, you're going to need extra sheets and towels and blankets and silverware and dishes and glassware. And then also paper supplies, paper towels and Kleenex and toilet paper, and if you want to provide Q-tips in the bathrooms. So a whole bunch of paper supplies that you'll need, and then also cleaning supplies, not only for the guests to use while they're there, but also for your cleaning people. Another thing that you want to do is make sure your furnishings are all, tidy and neat. Do you need to get the carpet cleaning done? Do you need to get all of your furniture cleaned? What do you need to do to make it look somewhat new? Do you need to paint the walls? A fresh coat of paint helps extremely well with making your house seem new and fresh. Also, for the windows, guests may arrive and it's the middle of the day, but they want to take a nap. So they need some way to block off the sunlight, or if they don't want to be woken up by the morning sun. So you need to consider window treatments as well. So those type of things. And then you really need to think about who's going to be arranging all the cleanings for the guest. So is that going to be you? Are you going to hire a company? Or are you going to hire a property management group to be able to take care of the home, be available to the guests while they're there 24/7, and also be able to get the cleaning scheduled when either the guest wants them or what you're willing to provide to the guest. Also a concierge. We want to consider a concierge, which is somebody who will meet and greet the guest at the home, or if you want to do it in a simpler way, you could just have a lockbox at the home, but you'll have to go get that, give the code to the guest, where it's located. But what we really recommend is to have somebody available to the guest when they first check in and then throughout their stay, in case there are things that go wrong with the home. Because things will go wrong with the home, but it's more about how do you quickly
respond
to something that may have gone wrong, like the internet doesn't work or the jacuzzi doesn't get hot or whatever it may be.
Yeah, it is nice. I know that in many of our homes we not only have somebody there to greet the guests, but also a checkout time so that they're there. And then in between, it's a concierge, similar to a concierge in a very nice hotel. Somebody that can make a reservation, make a recommendation, and of course be an emergency contact, in the event of some sort of a mishap.
Yeah, and that concierge adds on to the guest experience so much. It gives them a level of peace about kind of knowing that they're going to have somebody there in case something does go wrong, somebody who knows the area really well that can recommend restaurants and excursions and set that all up for them. So
right.
It's a nice touch to any rental home.
Makes the guest feel much more at home, much more quickly.
Exactly.
Another thing that goes along with the home readiness, I think, is just thinking about technology, because today all guests want to have access to the internet. Most would like to have televisions in multiple rooms, telephone service, whether it's just local or in some of our homes we offer free long distance to dozens of countries because of the particular service provider there. It's affordable to be able to do that, and that is an amenity that that some people really want.
Yeah, like our Paris homes, they get free phone calls to 49 different countries, and that's our Our guests love that. What else, Jeannie?
Well, I think that kind of covers that. I'm thinking about the the contractual part as well. And it's important to have a good contract to send out to guests that is very clear, concise, lists the basic check-in, check-out times, dates, contact information on the front page of the contract, and just really protects you, and and is easy for a guest to be able to fill out, to make sure that that the home is also zoned, or it can legally be rented without any problems. If there are taxes and special taxes that need to be considered and included.
Yeah, let me touch on that, because normally when you do a rental, there is an accommodation tax that a city may collect every time you do a rental. So they take a piece of that, and usually it's a percent. It's normally anywhere from 3% up to 19%. And so you have to find out what that is for your city. And then on your rental rates, there's a place to put that in as extra. So the guest actually pays that, and you just pass it through to the government.
Right, yeah. So that's important. It can easily be handled. I think one of the other things that's really important always is communications. I know here at Elite, we put together a fairly encompassing welcome letter. Once we have signed an agreement with somebody, we like to send them out a welcome letter that lists the concierge that will be taking care of them both before their stay as well as during their stay. And before their stay, that means gathering flight information, learning more about what the guest wants to do while they're at the home, in terms of excursions or perhaps restaurants, different activities, so that those things can be prepared and just thought about before the guest actually arrives. Communication throughout the leading up to the arrival date, and then also when a guest actually after the stay, we like to make a follow-up call after the guest has left to make sure that everything was up to standards. It's a good way for us to make sure that our homes, which are luxury vacation villas, are really providing a luxurious experience for our guests. And we think that it's also a great way to get repeat business and just establish a deeper relationship with the client that stayed with us. So I think that's really important. And oh, by the way, it does, if there are problems, heaven forbid, during the stay, that communication that we've had with the guests before their stay is just very helpful in terms of trying to recoup any damages and so on.
Yeah, and that leads into like, what kind of payment do you want? What kind of payment system do you want?
Oh, right.
Are you going to be able to take a credit card payment, which most people want to be able to do, or are you going to just require them to send a check in? And so there's the payment things, and that if you, like, the damage deposit is really important. What kind of security deposit do you want to put down? And, it could be a credit card authorization, it could be an actual check that you hold on to, from them. And then there's also something called damage insurance that you may want to consider.
I think that's kind of a basic overview of so many of the things that you think about when you're renting your home. And of course, we like to make the experience fun, because people that are going to stay at our homes typically are going with family, or family and friends, or close friends, and they are looking for a fun experience. So we do our very best throughout to make sure that all communications are fun, easy, to make their stay memorable.
Yeah, you know, in our reservation department, and you know, I mean, you guys are laughing all the time. I mean, you know, I mean, people who are calling you are excited about booking a reservation. So it's really important when you go to book those people that you do tell them about what's the greatest and latest restaurant? What are the excursions you can do? Can you go dog sledding? Can you go, you know, can you go eat dinner at the top of the mountain? Can you, you know, go parasailing? What, you know, horseback riding, tennis, golf? What can you do in that area? And if you're an expert in your area and are able to tell them all about that, they're going to have a wonderful time at the home.
And that's what it's all about.
And that's what it's all about, is creating, you know, I like to say memorable moments for families that go to your home. So, you know, it's a lot of work, but it's, you know, well worth it if your home is sitting there empty for a lot of the year. Anything else?
I think that's it.
That's it. Over and out.
Yeah, exactly. All I really care about everybody is that I have someone to play with.